Please welcome to the 2021 U.S. Women's Open interview area, Brooke Henderson. Henderson will be making her 9th U.S. Women's Open appearance with her best finish a tie for 5th in 2015. She has 15 career wins worldwide, including 1 major and 10 LPGA titles. Brooke, what are your first impressions of the golf course?
It's definitely a monster. Yeah, it's going to be really challenging, very tough, premium to hit a lot of fairways, and hopefully a lot of greens as well. I feel like it's definitely a ball striker's golf course and, staying patient and being resilient when you run into trouble.
How do you feel that your game suits this golf course?
Well, normally ball striking is a strength of mine, which I think is good. I think you just kind of have to be prepared for everything, all the challenges, but that's exactly what a U.S. Women's Open should do, should test you physically and mentally, and you should be drained at the end of the week.
And what does playing in the U.S. Women's Open mean to you?
It's just a different feeling being here. It's an honor to be invited or to earn my place in the U.S. Women's Open, I guess for the 9th time, which is really cool. And, just to be against the best players in the world, competing for one of the best trophies in the world is pretty amazing. And, I'm just excited for the opportunity.
Go right here.
Hi, Brooke. Many players stress the importance of enjoying themselves during a week like the U.S. Open, especially when the conditions are harder and the expectations are higher. What strategies do you use to try to treat the U.S. Open week like any other tournament?
In a way, I think it's important. It's just another golf tournament. It's 4 rounds of golf. But at the same time, it is something special, and I think you have to pay attention to that as well. Knowing how demanding it's going to be and how tough it's going to be on you, I think it's important to recognize that, but also enjoy yourself. And I think, just being here and so many people try to make it to the U.S. Women's Open, and to have the chance to compete for the trophy and be here, I think is just really exciting and an honor, and I think it's important to appreciate that.
Thank you.
He said it earlier, but this is your 9th U.S. Women's Open. When you hear that, what does that mean to you, the fact that you've been able to rise to the challenge and be a part of this prestigious major championship?
It's pretty amazing. I did the Open qualifiers for my first 2 in 2013 and 2014. In 2013, I was 15, I think, and it was the first cut that I ever made on the LPGA Tour. So this tournament has always has a special spot in my heart. And, in 2014, I was low amateur, got to be on the 18th green while Michelle Wie was awarded her trophy, which was a pretty incredible feeling. And, hopefully I got the little medal that day, but hopefully someday I'll get the big trophy.
How much do you like being able to be under the major championship pressure and rise to the challenge of what, Olympic Club, but also other majors kind of do for your game?
Yeah, to be a major champion is pretty awesome. It gives me a lot of confidence, and because sometimes you wonder how you're ever going to be able to finish 4 rounds or, be able to play well on golf courses this challenging. But then you can kind of, lean back on past performances when you have played well. And, I have a T5 and a T10 here at the U.S. Women's Open. So, it's possible, and you just really got to stay patient and believe in yourself and trust in the process and the hard work that you've put in.
I know one of the things you've been working on lately is the putting part of your game. Where do you feel in your game as you get ready for the Olympic Club?
Having that win in LA, I guess around 2 months ago, was huge. Gave me a lot of confidence back, and got me really excited for the rest of the season. And, I was able to have a few more top 10s this season, and I feel like overall I'm in a pretty good place. I feel like mentally I've made a lot of gains as of recently, and physically I'm always working hard to improve every day. And Britt, my sister, and Dad, my coach, who's back home in Canada, just always working with me, trying to get a little bit better every day.
We have a few questions from the WebEx. Imby Park said yesterday that hitting in the rough is an automatic bogey. How thick is the rough?
It is phenomenal how thick it is, and I feel like her statement is pretty true. So definitely huge benefit to hitting a lot of fairways this week.
Is this the most difficult test mentally for you, and if so, how do you approach that?
I would say so. Any major championship, especially here at Olympic Club, this course is super challenging. And when you look back at the scores of the previous tournaments that have been held here, it's pretty eye-opening to see that the winning score was +1 after 4 rounds. You're not used to that, so it's a whole different mindset. Normally you're trying to chase as many birdies as you can, where this week, honestly, I feel like you're trying to chase as many pars as you can.
Have you tried to prepare for this week and this golf course any differently than other U.S. Women's Opens?
I think, just spending a lot of time in the rough and on the short game, because you're going to make mistakes at some point, and you're going to have to get up and down, and you're going to have to be very resilient. So, I think when you run into trouble, just trying to not make your problems any worse and just play smart and hopefully make some clutch putts.
Right back here.
When you just spoke of the mental gains you'd made this year, what does that look like?
I think for me, I'm just always trying to be a better person and a better golfer every single day. And I've had a very successful career out on the LPGA Tour and just trying to improve all the time. And, I'm excited for the future and what that holds and, just trying to chase big goals and big dreams. So for me, I had to, work on my mental game a little bit. And I feel like I'm continuing to do that. And it seems to be working out pretty well.
Is it also important to remember, you mentioned this earlier, but to remember all the successes you've come versus only just chasing for the next big title?
Yeah, to have 10 wins on the LPGA Tour is pretty cool. And I think, you can lean back on those memories and even like looking at old footage, sometimes can give you a little bit of a boost and some confidence when you need it.
Thank you.
Back to the WebEx for a couple more. You typically play a pretty busy schedule, but you took some time off recently. Has that approach helped you, and what did you do in your time off?
So I decided not to go to the Asia Swing this year. So I spent 3 weeks at home in Florida, which was really nice to kind of get a break, especially right after the win. I'm not used to having a break after a win, so it was kind of fun to celebrate with my sister and my brother-in-law. And I think, it's weird to have a break almost in the middle of the season, but, tried to use it to our advantage, just some equipment testing and, just tried to make some small improvements and get ready for a really busy schedule because I'm playing 6 in a row right now and then pretty steady after that as well.
There are 3 other Canadians in the field this week. Have you talked to them or spoken with them at all?
I haven't run into any of them this week. It's been pretty busy so far, but Becky is a great friend of my sister and of mine from back in the day, so I'm excited that she was able to qualify this year, and hopefully she has a good week.
How do you feel your game is coming into this week?
I feel like it's in a pretty good place. To get the top 10 in Kingsmill was pretty fun 2 weeks ago. Had a little bit of a rough week last week in Vegas, but I was able to come here early and get, walk the course on Sunday afternoon, which was really nice, and get a feel for what this course was going to challenge us with.
And one more. With your style of play, what are going to be the keys for you to succeed this week?
I think I'm generally a pretty aggressive player, and I think if things are going really well, I'll keep that. But at the same time, you got to play really smart, and it might not be driver off every tee. I think it's more important to hit fairways and maybe have a longer shot into the green. So, I'm working with my sister and my dad, who's back home, and I'm just trying to get some strategies together and be prepared for a tough but exciting week.
Thanks, Brooke.
Cool.
Good luck this week.
Thank you.